Bayshore Power Plant is one of 5 power plants here in the far western basin of Lake Erie.
I live about a half a mile from the Bayshore Power Plant. I've been here for 10 years. It's a nice community. The plant does a good job of producing electricity. There's been a lot of different things happen in our neighborhood since I've been living here. So a lot of people are asking me about the brown dust. Other people have had problems breathing when they go outside. When we sit outside here on my back porch or in the grass, we see the stack poof brown stuff in the air, and it drifts over our heads into our area here right behind us. So I went out to the store and bought some clean white sheets to find out what is in the brown stuff. So I took the white sheets and I put it on my car on the windshield, and this is what happened to my sheet. You can see the brown stuff that accumulated on my wife's car. We want to work with Edison and find out what the brown stuff is, and maybe they can find a way of not releasing so much.
This area is the incubator, the canary in the coal mine for the Great Lakes, and this power plant is an incredible example of that, both on land and in water.
I live in Oregon, and 4 blocks from this plant.
I live in Erie, Michigan, which as the crow flies is about 10 nautical miles from here.
75 years I've lived here.
I'm a licensed charter boat captain, been a licensed charter boat captain for the last 27 years.
I'm a commercial fisherman for 45 to 50 years.
Just in Ohio, there's over 800 charter boats, and that's just fishing the western basin of Lake Erie.
1955, we had over 250 commercial fishermen.
Lake Erie's fishery means over $1 billion of economic impact to the state of Ohio.
We were able to commercial fish here since 1940.
The jobs for the fishery in the state of Ohio is over 9,900 jobs, which is significant in a time like now.
Right now we can catch yellow perch, no walleye, white bass, and white perch, and catfish.
Our main targeted species are walleyes, yellow perch, white bass, and smallmouth bass.
Maumee Bay has a lot of small reefs in it where it is ideal for spawning grounds.
The majority of the fish spawn in the rocky areas and in along the Maumee Bay, and especially up in the Maumee River.
It's the shallow, warm water. It's ideal for spawning. There's a lot of nutrients. There's plenty of food for the small fish. That's the main thing.
After they spawn, they flow down the Maumee River as larval fish, which are basically just 2 eyes and a wiggle, following the current coming down the Maumee. As they come down, there's a pinch point. The pinch point is right at this plant. That plant takes in 750 million gallons of water a day. Those larval fish don't know the difference between safety and death.
Very small fish, fish eggs, larval fish that are maybe only 10 millimeters in size, will be coming down the intake channel of the power plant and will pass right through the power plant's cooling system and go out its discharge canal and back out into the lake.
A lot of the fish will follow the current right into the intake of the Bayshore Power Plant.
And those fish can be affected by both the turbulence that occurs inside the circulating systems of the power plants, as well as by the additional heat that's put into the water because the cooling water, the water by nature is used to cool the generators of the power plant. So that's one way that the plant could affect fish populations.
The fish come in trapped along the screens and entrained or impinged, but basically they're pressed along the screens and killed by sheer water flow and their inability to free themselves.
When larger fish come down that intake channel and encounter the traveling screens, or the screens that protect the intake structure of the power plant. And those screens are there to collect debris, tree stumps, things like that, as well as fish. And those screens turn to be cleared, and fish get impinged or attached to those, and then they get drawn up, dumped into a water supply system that shoots them back out into the discharge part of the power plant, so that they get drawn back out into the lake again. And so there is an impact on those fish also.
If you could pick a place to put a power plant, you could not put your finger on a map and find a worse place to put a power plant than right here at the mouth of the Maumee River.
We're right in the worst possible place they could have sited the plant. It's right in the actual nursery ground and the spawning ground. So there's just no other place in Lake Erie that they could have put this plant which has been any worse. It's obvious to us that the plant has got significant impact on the fish populations.
The limit on walleyes is 6 per person. We can take 30 yellow perch per day.
ODNR stopped us from fishing here in the Maumee Bay in 1972. We have a quota on yellow perch, which was implemented back about 1984, 85, somewhere in there.
We as anglers, if we would catch and kill a undersized walleye or keep a perch over our limit, we're going to be charged $50 per fish for those fish.
They're regulated, almost out of business right now.
This plant doesn't pay a dime for any of the fish except the cost that it incurs to clean up the bodies. The economic cost is estimated to be $30 million from the fish kill from this plant a year.
They are trying to install a device called a louver.
And what it's supposed to do is divert the fish away from the intake channels of the power plant.
The technology out there is available.
The fact is the power plant is there right now, and we need to decide what the total and true costs and benefits are of having that plant there, putting in cooling towers, generating some mitigative approach to reduce the impact.
From just the dry data that we've collected, I'd say it's at least partially effective in reducing the amount of fish that go through, more so with the larval fish than the adult fish. The adult fish are able to swim around it more than the larval fish. It actually seems to be quite successful at diverting larval fish from getting sucked in.
There's only one thing to do, and that's put up a cooling tower.
In the way of cooling towers, it's been implemented in a lot of different plants, and it shows to be over a 90% reduction in fish kills.
The Maumee River is the largest watershed in the Great Lakes and is the most biologically productive river in the Great Lakes.
We have incomplete knowledge. Now, there comes a time when we have to make decisions based on incomplete knowledge. I just want to make sure that we take the knowledge we have and make sure we put it into context so that we make decisions as well as we can.
The Great Lakes are the single largest source in the United States for fresh water. There's more fresh water here than in any place in the United States. Lake Erie produces 80% of all the fish for human consumption of the Great Lakes. And the value in commercial fishing and sport fishing is just a resource that should not be ignored.